Hey, black man, why are you angry? What comes to your mind when you think about that? When it's said to you?
The misconception that a lot of times we are perceived as mad at the world, when a lot of times the world don't understand we just passionate.
Hmm.
So angry is not the associated word. If you ask us a question and we are passionate about something the way we feel,
Yeah,
we're gonna have it with a tone of voice because a lot of times we just sick and tired of being treated a certain type of way, but we passionate. Not necessarily angry, just has an aggressive tone to it. And a lot of people are sensitive to the way that we deliver our message because if it's not like this, calm, cool, and collected, then we angry.
that's you know what? I learned that there's actually multiple sides to this, or at least two
Mm-hmm.
sides to us being pit as the angry black man. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to everything that we do out in public for everyone to see,
Right.
everyone is looking at some of the stuff that we're doing. Um, and and I mean that's from the way we dress, our music, uh, how we handle things at work. It's I hate that there's just confusion with that because I'm basically what I'm doing. I'm agreeing with you that we're looked at as that when we're compassionate about something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there's a part of this as well that's that is like we are the tough guy. There is some programming. So I'm looking at it on the other end
Mm.
from another lens. There's programming that comes with this where to me it goes all the way back to slavery. The tough guy. Everything we do is hard. Everything we do is with muscle. That's exactly what we did as slaves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, like we take that programming and we bring it forward, and now, like it's not that we don't have a right to actually be angry, but it's the way that we're conveying what it is that we do.
Mm.
It's the way that I'm not even going to say it's like fully our fault. We just have to be aware that this is, that we're viewed in this angle. But I I don't know if the tough guy is, if that's the thing that we're supposed to be, if that's the thing we're supposed to portray. Being tough, like it's one thing to be tough, it's another thing to like put everything, all your muscle, all your man, I want to break this down so much deeper than this.
Go ahead.
Let's do this. Let's unpack this,
All
right?
right.
How many like it would be easier to ask this way. How many friends do you know or that you have or people, black men that you know or have that aren't tough?
Majority.
That aren't tough?
Yeah.
You would say majority of them aren't tough.
Yeah. I mean, not in a perspective to where we're looked at as trying to be aggressive all the time.
Yeah.
Now, if you're saying tough as far as built to go through things, deal with adversity, stuff like that, yeah, that's fine. Because the
Yeah.
word tough
Yeah.
is a vague term. It's like, do you have friends that can go through tough times and then come out on the other side winning?
Yeah.
Or do I have friends that's tough, like every time I see you, I'm ready to square up with you type tough? That's the thing.
See, now that is the conversation that I'm trying to have now.
Let's do it.
What's the conversation? What is the definition of tough?
Exactly.
Do we
That's what I
have
need.
do we have a different definition than everyone else as black men?
Right.
Is there a different definition of tough when it comes to how we live, how we raise our boys? Is there a different definition? Because
There is a
you
different
have
definition.
you have to be able to endure certain things in the workplace, in public, with your friends, whatever, around a certain group of people. You got to be able to endure certain things. But also, there's this thing where the tough guy, we kind of mentioned it last time, when it comes to being taught not to cry,
Right.
being taught not to display emotions. Well, if I display emotion, does that mean I'm not tough?
No, if you display emotion, it's got to be accepted for who you are, and then you got to adapt to the type of person you are. But the problem is, you got to be able to accept criticism and take discipline, and be able to be disciplined yourself. So just because somebody's on your head, whether they're right or wrong is opinion. If you're doing something to where talking like this is not normal, and I got to raise my voice
Man.
to get my point across.
Right.
It ain't necessarily that I'm angry. It's the fact, like I said last time, I'm just disappointed that you're not being as great as you should be. Right. Now, can you have slip-ups? Yes. But if you don't say nothing, you act like this is me and you need to accept me for who I am, and I know you better than that, I'm not finna accept all that.
No.
So that's when it comes tough as far as the discipline side, you know, especially for me being a father or somebody older looking at somebody else trying to guide them. Yes, it can be tough. But the other side of tough is same situation. You try to show your emotions and you may say something that's disrespectful to you, but we didn't try to come up as disrespectful. Mm-hmm. Now you ready to square up, get busy.
But see, that's taught. That's something that's programmed into you. You know, you see it dealing with your uncles, your fathers, older cousins, older brothers, whatever, and it's trickled down to you. Right. That's how you handle business, but that's not how you handle it. And that's where we get the stigma of the angry black man. Right. To me, that's where we get it from. And it's not, to me, it's just not healthy to think that you have to do everything hard or with muscle or with aggression.
But for other people who try to judge black men, don't provoke a black man and then expect him to just fall back and just sit back and be like, okay, yes. It ain't gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen. But that's because, no. Let me fall back. You're right, Bailey. You're 100% right. It's not going to happen. And I think that's kind of what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Is
because being provoked and then we display our attitude after we're provoked is totally different than us just having a conversation with somebody and then saying something disrespectful. Yeah. Because if somebody say something disrespectful, then you acting tough because, I'm being disrespectful.
Yeah.
But don't say I'm a tough guy when you up here provoking me.
Yeah.
You know, saying I can't do this, saying I can't do that. Slander, throwing racist things, you know, degrading me.
Right.
Because if I check you, that's going to be a whole different ball game from being provoked than if I'm checking you because you disrespected me.
But I think that's part of the reason why we get pinned the angry black man. And I do think they try to poke the bear.
Always.
They try to poke the bear.
Always.
And make us rage and make us do all these horrible things or start cussing and start, you know, tearing stuff up and things like that. But I think one of our challenges is that we don't recognize that that's what's happening to us. A lot of us don't. We don't recognize it.
We always fall into the trap. Always fall into the trap. And it's not.
We have to be taught differently, man.
Bro, but it ain't even being taught differently.
Or deprogram.
That one.
We gotta deprogram.
And two, you gotta understand when you become an older black man, you know that society is always gonna look at you differently than everybody else.
Right.
So you can still live your life, but as long as you are consciously aware of the 3-strike rule that you always have as a black man, it'll change your life. And what I'm saying as a 3-strike is that no matter what happens when you live in this life, if you do anything besides being positive as a black man, you're going to get looked at as, oh, he about to go off. He about to trip. He about to set trip. The problem is, if you're around black men enough, black men are some of the most supportive and loving people you can be around.
That's a fact.
And it's to the point to where you call on a black man to do something, and I'll put it like this. Most of the time, you can call on a black man to do something very out of character, or outrageous, or strenuous, that's stressful, than most time you could do with any other race. Right. And what I mean is that if you're in a situation and say you somewhere that's a hostile environment, whether it's fighting or, you know, gang activity or something like in the club. If you call one of your boys that's black, he pulling up. Where you at? I'm riding up. Yeah. Get in the car. Let's ride out.
Yeah.
A lot of times every other race is like, oh, bro, are you okay? Oh, you in that area? Bro, I don't know. Let's call the cops. You can't call the cops for everything. But we know that. And the problem is when you don't get that same kind of respect, because a lot of people see black men treating black men the same way, but that's because we love each other and we know what we've been through.
Okay.
But I got plenty of white friends. I got plenty of Asian friends, Mexican. I got plenty of other race friends that I would do the exact same thing for. They just don't call me all the time because I don't have anybody that's like that. Most of the time when I'm with black men, we're the ones that's always struggling with dealing with our child's moms or even dealing with kids.
Yeah.
Being in situations where we thought was cool, but it ended up going sideways because of something that's out of our control. And so we're not calling the police every time. We're not calling somebody, you know what I'm saying, that may be...
No, we always keep the police out of our business.
Yeah, we keep everything out of our business.
Same thing with families.
That's what I'm saying.
We mentioned this before, is the whole what's said and done in here needs to stay in here.
For sure.
You know, when it comes to this house. Now, you know, pulling up, you know, checking up on your boy, making sure he's solid. I think that's something we should be doing that. Everyone should do that. I don't care what race, creed, gender.
The black men
background.
around, we all check on each other.
Yeah,
So yeah,
have to check on each other. Now, it's the action behind that too. Now, if something happens and then you coming up here and you got, you know, every gun in your house, you know, you got your pistols, you got this, that, and the third, and you about to air this thing out. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's where all that.
You should have said the other word, but yeah.
that's where all the aggression
right
that is put on us comes out and programmed into us. I don't like that we're programmed this way. And let me unpack this even further, a little bit more. Okay. Our programming needs to be deprogrammed because now we're so divided that when I'm walking, and I'm just like, as an example, and I ain't gonna lie, every now and again I feel this way, especially with these kids. I shouldn't feel like when I'm walking down the street or I'm, you know, maybe I'm downtown. It could be dark, it could be light, it don't matter. It could be at the gym, and I see a group of young black men, and they got this aggressive. Let me not even say aggressive. They just young black men. They doing what they do. You know, they probably sagging, you know, whatever. We naturally got this hard look on our face too. I don't know why we do this. We just like when our idle faces just be like, that's just what it is. I don't know why. But they got the same thing. They laughing and joking. When you walk by them and you feel some type of way. You're like, yo, is something finna happen to me? Am I going to get jumped? Am I finna be attacked? Right. People felt that way about us when we were that age. Of course they still do now, but like as kids, most of us are innocent. I would say most of us young black boys are innocent. We're not going to bust a grape if it comes to like when you walk by us. I'm not finna trip with you because me personally, like because you stepped on my shoe or because, you know, you bumped into me or whatever. I'm just like, yo, okay. Hey man, it's all good. You got it.
You want another first step to deprogramming? Be courteous. You see another black person looking at you. Like, this is what I do with every black man that I see, whether I know you or not, in town, out of town, straight head nod every time.
That's it. That's universal, though.
Or if I walk up, what up, G?
Yeah.
And they be so thrown off because not all black men respond the same way. But that's how you initially de-escalate a situation.
Yeah.
What's up, fellas? What's going on?
What I do,
and the first thing they do is get interested, like, oh, all right. Because I already came at you cool and correct without you even fearing for yourself. And now you just got to respond either respectfully or you don't.
How do you approach white people, white men?
Same way.
Walking by. You say what's up to them?
Yeah, say what's up.
You walk by and you're like,
what's up? What's going on? Yeah.
That's what you do?
mean, not what's up, G, but I've slipped sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially if they cool. You know, I slipped up and say, what's up, G? But I always say, what's up? And, you know, working in the professional or the corporate world, I walk in half the time. They say good morning to me before I even get a chance to say anything.
Yeah, some environments they do that.
So,
but see, now I'm well aware of like how my face looks sometimes. I try not to, but I'm well aware of that. And any of my encounters previously, and I don't do this anymore. I've just relaxed. But any of my encounters with my white counterparts. I did everything. Like, I put an inflection in my voice. So, hey, how are you guys doing?
Man.
Awesome. That's cool. High
Man.
five. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
I'm always showing my hands. I'm just like, oh, hey, so everything okay? Because I tried to do everything I could to make sure I didn't look like a threat.
No.
Hey, you know what? I'm finna go to the break room real quick. You want me to grab you a soda? You know, like, no, dead serious. So I didn't look like a threat. So they didn't feel uncomfortable around me. But I know that they feel that way sometimes.
Bro.
A lot of the times. Most of the time.
Man, I keep it the same way. And that's one thing that I get judged on, because I get looked at as cool, but I get treated as a black man, not as I act different way. Because I'll go into work and there be white people around. What's going on? What's up, y'all? Same tone. And they get thrown off because when I was working customer service, same way. White people come up, just hold it. What's going on?
It took me a long time to break out of that, baby.
Bro, I couldn't fake the fun.
It took me
I go
a
to
long
my
time
boss.
to break out of that.
I go to my boss. What's up? What up? What's going on?
Yeah.
See, I come, if I walk out in public, what's going on? How you doing?
I work customer service jobs just like that,
Yeah.
having to encounter them. But I never wanted anything to be said negative about me. You could never catch me doing anything I wasn't supposed to do. I'm not gonna be a stereotype.
Right.
I'm not gonna be the angry black man. I'm not about to show you this tough guy. You have to really provoke me to get me, I don't even want to say out of my character, for me to show any type of anger, aggression, or discomfort.
My thing was I always got told I couldn't sympathize or empathize or all the extra psychological stuff people want. At the end of the day, when you do customer service as a black man, or if you're in the corporate world, find a solution to whatever the problem is.
Yeah.
Just because I got a different inflection in my voice doesn't mean I'm not as interested as if I'm talking the way that I am now. If anything, it's like, hey, what's the solution? What we gonna do? How we gonna fix this? It's not proper English all the time. I'm not enunciate every word. Now, do I have an expanded vocabulary? Yes. Do I use it when I need to use it? Yes. But at the end of the day, I'm not finna come at you with a dictionary to say a simple sentence.
I was coming at you with a dictionary to
nah,
say.
I'm
not.
know
why? It was to prove to you that I wasn't who you thought I was. And you couldn't tell me anything different. I knew words that they didn't know.
Right.
But you're not about to pit me as the angry black man or the uneducated black man or the poor black man or anything. Like, I always look better than you. I smell better than you. I dress better than you. I could speak just eons past you. Like, my diction was off the chain. You couldn't get me.
Bro, I make it plain.
And that's fine. That's fine. I'm saying that's how I was. That was my thought process behind all of this. Because
but you know how much stress that puts on you, bro? Because you got.
I know now.
You got to flip a switch all the time.
I know now.
That flipping a switch is unnecessary way to live the life. Now, when you live TV or when we do podcasts and stuff like that, of course we flip the switch because we don't want to cuss and everything. But we not about to have, about to turn on this podcast and we sound like two white boys on here having a conversation.
I'm definitely myself.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the way we need to be all the time too as black men. Like, don't be ashamed of who you are. Yeah. If you got a past and you talk with some lingo and some slang and everything, I get it. But at the end of the day, just make it plain.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I talk to cats all the time that was at the work job and nobody ever was like coming at me super proper, like Butler type almost. You know what I mean? Like everything is proper English, said the same way and everything. Mine's was more like, if you talk that way, I'm gonna accept you for who you are. I'm not talking that way. But as long as we get the work job or as long as we cool, care less.
But Bailey, there's another side to this too. We also weren't getting jobs that way.
No.
Like, let's say we grew up in the hood, or let's say we grew up down south, and we all know, even the down south folk know, like, they speak a little different. They got accents,
draws and everything,
southern drawl, all of that, man. Try to get a job with that southern drawl in a corporate setting with I guess you would say a lower diction or
different dialect,
things like that, and they're gonna look at you and be like, and I'm like, I hate the stigma that people from down south aren't smart, you know what I'm saying, or anything like that.
Man,
no, yeah, because my family's from down south,
well,
so I know this.
It's ignorant,
you know
for one. But the other thing is if I'm a black man with a master's coming into your job dressed to the T, and I talk like this, versus a white guy who's dressed the exact same way, who has the same credentials, we already know in the back of our mind, he has an 80 to 90% chance that he's going to get the job over me.
Not me. I'm coming in there, I look better than you, I smell better than you, I sound better than you.
That's the mentality we got to have in life in general.
Oh, yeah.
It's not necessarily a competition. It's just the fact that people need to understand it's the pride.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of pride in ourselves in being a black man.
Right.
And the pride turns into confidence, but don't mistake our confidence for arrogance.
Yeah.
Because you'll get checked real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not checked in a disrespectful way.
You're right.
It's checked as in, we know how you gonna come for me because we done been through this a few times and we done been around the block a few times. You're not about to look at me crazy and then act like, oh, everything is cool. No, I know you judging because of the way you're looking at me.
Yeah.
But if I come in and I'm sharp and I'm answering every question to the T, and I can tell you what to do, what not to do, answering every question in an interview, that's fine. And then when you see me on the street, I'm still talking the same way that I am in the interview. That's authenticity.
That's fine, but they don't care about authenticity.
They
want to feel safe. They want to feel comfortable. They don't want to think that Jerome's finna flip out one day and finna just flip all these tables over because someone drank the rest of his apple juice. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of mindset that they have in the corporate world. You know what I'm saying? And that's why another thing too, didn't mention, got to do it 2-3 times better than them because we're already walking in with 2 strikes.
Right.
You're black and you're a man? Oh no. Yeah, no. Of course we do it well. Of course we can when we learn something, when we put our minds to it, it's mastered. You know what I'm saying?
I think the other issue is that when we are in the corporate world, we can't succumb, vocabulary word, we can't succumb to thinking that job is our job and it's life and death, or else I ain't gonna be the person I'm gonna be. A lot of times that should fuel you to either do better or, like most of my boys do, start their own businesses.
Yeah, but do we start businesses because we can't make it in the corporate world? I think some of us do.
Some of us do.
Some of us do because
a lot of times there's a lot of people who don't like they don't like answering to necessarily the man, whoever the man is. And then there's a lot of people who could care less about what anybody else thinks because they got something that they could benefit the world, which is fine. But for the majority of us who actually need a corporate job, who actually need to get started, never should get discouraged for being who they are as a black man. Don't fake the funk. Don't try to talk different. Don't try to do anything else. If that job doesn't want you, there's a reason why that job doesn't want you. Yeah. It's too many jobs out here, and you might have to necessarily move, which is one of the biggest things in Wichita. You know, we hear all the time is that there ain't no jobs in Wichita. Ain't nothing here for me in Wichita. Bro, I done had 4-5 jobs in Wichita, being a black man, being who I am. Same. Now, granted, I don't have a rap sheet, or I haven't been arrested, or I haven't been, anything of any conflicts like that. But at the end of the day, I am confident in myself, and I know that I can get a job if I want to get it. And if I don't get the job and they pick somebody else, it's not the end of the world for me because I know my skills can carry on somewhere where somebody's going to need me.
Absolutely. I want people to take away, at least from what I'm saying, on the tough guy side of the angry black man. Don't get confused with actually, like, with actual aggression, with muscle, with being hard for enduring something, because that's tough. That's where you're the tough guy, because you can endure.
Don't let your
certain things. You can endure trials. You can endure storms.
right.
And get through it and stand up strong.
Don't let your mind be sensitive to arrogance either.
Right.
Because arrogance and ignorance. Don't be ignorant because I talk with a different tone or I'm blunt because of what I say. And you think, oh, no, he's too tough. He's just too rowdy for me.
Right.
A lot of black men don't hold nothing back. A lot of black men don't feel like they need to hold nothing back. A lot of black men don't edit what they say. That don't mean that we're different from anybody else.
Right.
Because I guarantee you got a family member that was older from an older generation that talked to you the same way, and then you not putting up with it. So when you see a black man talk that way, it triggers and flashes you to somebody older or somebody that was in your life that irritated you and pissed you off all the time because they was mean to you because of the way they talked to you.
Yes, sir.
But at the end of the day, don't try to judge a black man based on the way he talks to you tone-wise and the way he looks. My issue that I have as a black man, your boy big. For those who may not be watching this, I'm a very wide brother. And the problem is because I play sports, lift weights, stay active and everything, my intimidation and presence comes from just the way that I walk.
Right.
A lot of people get intimidated just from seeing me walk around. I ain't even got to say nothing.
Yeah.
My presence speaks for me. And a lot of black men have that presence too, whether they big or small, but just because of the way they walk.
We're naturally like we're naturally intimidating figures. Like we're kind of born this way. A lot of black men don't even lift weights. They throw on a little tank top and they got their
physically
neck out. It's just
genetically aesthetic.
What I'm saying? That's how we are.
Just genetically aesthetic.
But see, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation.
It's a whole nother conversation, but it's real. It's real.
The other, I'm just saying, people are aware of that.
Right.
They're aware of that. So that's where that whole intimidation factor comes in with them, which once their response spills out and comes towards us and they're afraid or, they're locking their doors when we walk by their car, but you're all the way in the building almost. And I'm and then my car is better than yours. Right. It don't matter. It's just, that's how we feel, a black man, but what I'm saying is let me clear this up too. I'm not that I have to clear anything up first off, but I don't switch anymore. I'm saying when I worked in the corporate office, how else was I going to get a raise? How else was I going to, move up the corporate ladder? How else was I going to have some more opportunities? And that's how I felt at that time in my mind. How else am I going to? But now, go back and listen to some early episodes of Vibe Wichita. And I'm so hyped and I'm just like, man, what's good? What's happening? It's your boy Dramedy Drew, man. Let me tell you, man. This is so live. Man, if I could just speak like how I speak and be myself with this kind of a bassy voice and not with all this inflection in my voice like I'm on the radio, then I want you to trust me. I want you to be clear about my authenticity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
and the other part to the tough guy, a lot of people don't like the nonchalantness that we have either. A lot of people think that because we nonchalant, we just let things brush off of us so much that we don't care. And then that personifies us as being tough too. Because somebody could come in, corporate world or anything could come to us and be like, oh, bro, do you know this, yada, yada, yada. And they just so hype and amped up. And we laid back chill like, that scare you?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes you worried? Yeah. Oh, all right.
Now listen. Being raised in the hood, it can make you tough. Yeah. No, for real. You'll have to endure certain things being raised in an environment.
I got a perfect example. I grew up on 15th and Belmont, which is near 13th and Oliver.
Yeah.
Which was, if anybody's from the city know, it's the hood. I went to school, made good grades, played football, was active in the community, did all that. But because I was raised in the hood, I played around with a whole bunch of hood friends that I seen do things that I would never do.
Right.
But it didn't make me scared of them. It just taught me like, hey, I'm not trying to live that lifestyle. I lived around the corner from a gun range.
Oh yeah.
Heard gunshots every day. You know, in a playing basketball in the street with cars coming. Yes, it's very dangerous. Yeah. Most people would just flip out, but that's how we grew up.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It was things that you learned in the hood that was life skills.
Yeah.
That had the street savvy that made you better as when you got an adult. But there's nothing wrong with where you live. And there's no such thing as a product of your environment because you always have a choice.
I don't know about that,
bro. You got a choice.
I don't think. Well, what if
Let's
you're
talk
not
about
presented?
it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's
I
talk
don't
about
think
it.
you're presented with every single option or every single choice, especially in those neighborhoods. Let's talk about the schools.
Right.
Those schools, most of those inner city schools don't have the best education programs. So you're not showcased, you know, oh, here's some college opportunities. You got City College maybe that might show you a little something. You got a couple junior colleges or whatever. But the only way you're going to make it out is if, in our generation, if you're a doctor, a lawyer, or an athlete. Right. That's the only way you're going to make it out. Now, these kids today, or let's just say being from the hood, you have the opportunity to, let's see, you have a ton of opportunities. You got YouTube, you got TikTok, you got entrepreneurship, you got starting your own restaurant, your own clothing business. There's different ways for you to become, you know, financially successful. Right. But there's still not those opportunities, not as many of those opportunities showcased on how to become successful. I don't think you have those same options. Whereas someone like me, although I wasn't born in the hood, my whole family came from the hood. So since my family was with me, my cousins, my siblings, all of us where we actually are from, although we didn't spend the majority of our time in the hood, we were still from a lower income environment or an inner city place. So we didn't necessarily have those we had been exposed to more of those options. I lived in the suburbs when I was in California. So our school system was the best school system, not even joking, the best school system in Southern California. Our teachers got paid the most in Southern California in our school district. So we're presented with so many different things, being a scientist, being an oncologist, being a anesthesiologist. There were kids in the 6th grade talking about they wanted to be an anesthesiologist, and we knew what that was. Right. You think kids on 13th and Oliver were talking about being an anesthesiologist? No. So how could you say that, hey, they're presented, you have an option? Because
of the technology that you have that you're watching and looking at videos and doing stuff like this. You can't tell me day in and day out that your life is just hardcore, hood, just doing things. There is a point in your life where you get fed up of either living that rough life where it's 6 of y'all sleeping in the same room and everything like that, and get the ambition. And yes, you may see rappers and you may see drug dealers and everything with the money, but not every kid has that type of mentality. And what I'm saying is if you in the hood and you see something that you want to do better, you're going to research and you're going to start hanging around people that are doing the same thing that you want to do, but that's still a choice. But even because I come from 13th and Oliver, you know, if I told you I live on 15th and Belmont, and right now I am a medical technician that fix surgery equipment for doctors, that don't even go together. Right. But the problem is when people judge you because of where you come from, and this is what I'm saying now. Don't let where you come from dictate where you're going. Right. And there's still opportunities to where you can make bad decisions or you can make sketchy decisions just to get through, but then still change your life. And I've seen that happen too. Yeah. So if you in the hood and you see nothing but drug dealers and you see nothing but hustlers and everything like that, I get that. You may have to hustle. You may have to do some things in order for you to get to where you need to be, but then change your life to where it's better and what's best for you. That's what I'm saying. But because you do bad things all the time, that's all I grew up around, that's all I know, it ain't all you know. Because I guarantee if you had,
That's the wrong one.
you good. I guarantee if you had the opportunity
Mm.
and somebody gave you the blue and red pill,
Mm.
and the red pill is a good life where you living decent, you may not have all the money in the world, and you can live comfortably, versus you got all the money in the world, but you gotta always look over your shoulder. Which one you gonna choose?
I still don't think though that like that option is actually happening as much as we would like for it to in
No.
the hood, unless you're an athlete or unless you're one of the special kids that have great grades and you're actually, you know what I'm saying, coming from good stock but living in that neighborhood. I don't think the exposure is there like that.
The exposure may not be there, but what I'm saying is the drive for you to be exposed to something around that can still be in you.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
But how does it actually happen? Because if you're not presented the option by someone actually showing you,
Right.
how would I know? Like, hey, I can take this opportunity. Like, I'm a great dancer,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I graduate high school,
Mm-hmm.
I can go to something like, or no, I can apply to a place like Juilliard School of Dance and become this world-renowned, ballerina or something like that. How will I know that if, like you said devices that we have, YouTube and things like that. Okay, maybe I'm a ballerina. I'm looking at all these ballerinas.
Well,
but they're not showing
else,
me.
right?
They're not showing me on these videos of these people who are dancing how to become like them. I'm already seeing them where they're at. You know what I'm saying? So of course I'm like, yo, I want to be that. I want to be that.
Right.
Okay. I might do a little research. I'm like, where did she go? How did she get there? Oh, she went to the school of Juilliard. Well, how do I get to Juilliard? Well, you got to apply. Well, you got to also have good grades. Well,
if it's too late for you at that point, you still going to figure out a way if you have that burning desire. And that's what I'm saying. That's where the toughness comes from for most black men. Because you're in the hood and you're trying to get out and you've been through all that, but you want better. So your foundation is already surviving. You know how to survive. Now you got to turn that survival into, okay, I'm going to get told no here, and here.
Yeah.
But eventually I'm going to get that breakthrough. So the frustration that you're saying is that, yeah, I may not get it when I'm like 5 or 6 when I'm supposed to be in school. I might be 30 with 3 kids, 2 baby mamas, driving a 1985 Monte Carlo with 22s on it.
I ain't gonna lie, that's actually a sweet ride.
Well, that's I'm just saying. But then you get that urge to be like, man, I'm sick of this life. I want to do better. You may not get it until you're later, but I'm just saying that still doesn't prove that you are a product of your environment if you turn around and you want to do something better. That's all I'm saying. It sucks that you have to wait that long, and we should want to encourage our kids at a younger age to do things like that. But like you said, nobody gets that exposure. But it's never too late for you to want to change your ways. But don't carry yourself as a chip on your shoulder all the time either. As a black man saying, well, I'm from the hood. I do this. I grew up like this. Okay, that's cool.
But it makes you the tough guy.
Yeah.
If I tell you I'm from 9th and Grove, I'm from not this. Yo,
I get
we
that.
built different than everybody.
You are built different.
If I continue to walk around and tell people that I was like, because I was born in Long Beach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My mom is from Hawthorne, South Central.
Right.
My father is from Norfolk. I don't know the neighborhood he was in, but the way it was described to me, I mean, my grandmother was a single mother with 3 kids, worked 3 jobs. Right. My dad, his first job when he was 13. His brother, everybody was scared of his brother because his brother beat everybody up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But like, I could walk around and say all of that, but that doesn't like. What do I invoke fear in you because I'm the tough guy and I got this aggression?
Okay.
And I'm from Long Beach.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? No.
So
I'm from Corona, California, where I lived 7.5 years of my life, which was more years there than I lived in a different city.
Right.
I lived in Corona. So I tell people I'm from Corona, California, one of the fastest growing cities at the time. And it's a suburban city to Riverside. Right. And we're probably like 35 minutes, 40 minutes from the heart of LA. You know what I'm saying? So, But I'm not going to walk around and tell you that because that makes me look tough to people out here. I'm not going to tell you, oh man, I'm not going to keep telling everybody, like by now everybody should know that I spent half my life there and the other half is here. I'm from Wichita.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't want you to think that I'm tougher or I'm built different because I'm from this or I'm from that. Now, I was presented some different options. I think I was presented some more options than somebody who was born, who probably was raised on 9th and Grove. Right. Look at it this way. Why do we have so many young black men in gangs? You know,
right.
That's the option that they were given or that they think is there.
That's the key, that you think.
They're showcased, hey, you want to make some money? Here, go sell this dime bag real quick. Go sell these 5 little dime bags.
And that's what
bring
I'm saying.
It back to me.
That's what happens when you become that 30-year-old, when you got, that's what I'm saying. You start off tough, but eventually you're going to want to change because you want your life to be easier. Nobody wants to live the life that you see on movie and TVs where it's always looking over your shoulder and then there's a happy ending at the end. Because most of the time when you get halfway through that life, you're either locked up or you're dead, especially as a black man.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is the tough guy mentality may be built or may be installed in you when you were younger or in the beginning stages, but that ain't who you have to be.
No.
That's just your foundation on how you got to move in the world whenever you get older, because people are going to tell you, no, you ain't worth this, you ain't this, you ain't that. But at the end of the day, you tough. You know, you probably wasn't supposed to have a survival rate where you came from when you was in the hood. Or you may not even, you may have a whole family that never went to college or anything like that. College, what's that? We hustlers. Change the narrative, break the curse if it's a curse, but you can still change that. The thing is, the tough guy mentality just comes from choice. I feel like it's a choice. I don't feel like you have to be. What I'm saying is, you get somebody from Philly, New York, East Coast, you get somebody from Dallas, Houston, New Orleans, you get somebody that's from Oakland, anywhere. Somebody from Chicago, Detroit.
Yeah, Midwest,
We went to community college with them. We went to JUCOs with them.
We sure did.
80% of them cats stayed here. Because it was a change of pace and they got away from what they wanted to do. And that's what I'm saying. You could come to college here, do what you got to do somewhere else, and then choose to go back home because that's all you know. Or you can get exposed because you get a chance. And like I said, it wasn't at the beginning, but you 18, 19. Yeah. You in a whole different environment. You like the way this is. Well, I'm finna stay here. Why I need to go back? That's where I'm from. I can say that's where I'm from. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's where I was raised. But that's not who I am because I chose to be a better person. I chose to do different things. Now, are you going to have that same grind and mentality in an easier place to get to where you need to be? Of course. Ain't nobody saying that. But my thing is, you don't have to be a tough black man all the time. You just got to remember that you are already mentally tough because of where you came from. There's just no need for you to tell everybody all the time, oh, I'm tough.
Yeah, but remember this, is that black men, black boys, black people, we're in competition with each other, and I don't know why. We're not supposed to be.
Take my soul. Nah, no. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. Nah, no. See, we was cool right before it hit your fist, but it hit the fan when I got him down and benched. But I took a break, I had to